Breathe out. I have the breathing coach on the line, and well, she's been with us before, and she has some fantastic tips. We welcome Kathleen Booker to the show. Kathleen, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much. I am just really honored to be here with you again. I appreciate all that you are doing, not only in the tri-state area, but also I'm going to know for you in the world. You really are expanding people's consciousness and health, knowledge, everything. So thank you for all that you're doing, Dr. Bob.
And thank you for coming on to BronxNet. I know you have wonderful tips for our viewing audience, and the last time you were here, it was extraordinary. Everybody really enjoyed you, and you had some eye-opening information, and I'm sure you have some for us today too.
Well, as we continue in the world and we think we've reached that plateau, there's something that just takes us a little bit higher on the stressometer. And I'll
Yeah.
speak for myself very openly. My mom just passed away 7 days
Yeah.
ago.
Oh.
So, yeah, thank you.
So our condolences. Sorry to hear that.
Yes, thank you.
Our prayers are with you.
I received them. Thank you. And it is an opportunity, not of COVID did she pass, but how do you deal with the stress? So if you have a loved one or a partner or your neighbors, who are experiencing loss, let's say, or illness from this virus, or just the stress of these headlines that are just enough to send you into the stratosphere, the first thing that I offer is very gently take your fingertips and just very gently touch your face, but light as if you're touching a newborn baby. So you don't stroke a newborn baby, hard. So just touch your face lightly. And then you'll notice that just as you're doing that, your body will instinctively take a nice inhale and you will physically feel yourself relax as you just did, Dr. Bob. And then what you can do also is just lightly take your fingertips and just touch the center of your chest, which is your heart chakra. The beauty of the breath is that, and this is science, is that it supports us to release cortisol from our body. Cortisol is adrenaline. That's that fight or flight. And we are in a constant state of anxiety, high anxiety. We not only have a pandemic, global, we also have a global protest taking place. So how do you not only, with the pandemic, keep yourself healthy, not think that everybody in the world has cooties? So, and when I say that, cooties, I have to not use slang. Germs, be aware, practice safety, health safety, wear your mask, wear your gloves, practice safety. But in addition to which, how do you keep your mind? How do you stay still engaged in the world and not become fearful and paint yourself in a box? And if you've been called back to work, how do you engage in work not from a place of fear? So the breath really does support you to release not only adrenaline, but it also optimizes your immune system. So what that means is, as you're doing breath work, and I'm hoping that we can do a little bit with the listeners, as you're doing breath work, you are not only creating optimal health in your respiratory system, you're also enhancing your immune system, and you are relaxing your mind, relaxing your body. And from there, you're able to engage. With some of the headlines that they have now where they're asking us, trackers, they're asking us to tail on each other. It's creating a society of fear. However, we can really root ourselves into what is within us always, even in a pandemic, and that's peace.
Yeah, and you know, with a lot of things going on, I mean, it's been unbelievable, unprecedented. But people are going to be traumatized.
They are traumatized.
Yeah.
Not
So
going to be, they are.
and may not realize it yet. Sometimes it just comes on after you look back and say, "Wow, look what we've been through."
Yeah.
Of course, some people react to it right away.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to have a nation of traumatized people.
Well, we are I say all, suffering from PTSD,
PTSD.
post-traumatic stress syndrome. And it's perpetuated with the headlines and the news. That's why I offer to your listeners every now and then, turn it off. Just turn it off. I also offer to your listeners because the collective consciousness energy is so heavy right now. What does collective consciousness energy mean? That the collective consciousness energy is the collective consciousness of everyone around the world in a panic, grieving. I mean, even for myself now, my mom didn't pass of COVID. However, we cannot have the whole family in. How do you grieve? Yet, how do I work? So, this collective consciousness is heavy. And I offer to all of your listeners a couple of things. In addition to breath, take a bath or take a shower every night before you go to bed. Why? Because we are walking in this heaviness. Wash that heaviness off of you. Do not, that's my cat, not a child.
Yes, she agrees with you.
That's
No,
the amen.
she's agreeing with you.
Yes. So you want to take a bath, you want to take a shower so that you wash off the day. Don't go to bed with all of that heaviness upon you. The other thing that I offer to all of your listeners and beyond is drink a lot of water. First of all, it has been scientifically proven that it not only in our life on GP, on general purposes, but in this pandemic, keep yourself hydrated and take your breath. I will be very honest with you, and I will use myself as an example. With the passing of my mom, I caught myself at one point not breathing. And we will catch ourselves where we're like, oh, wait, did I take a breath? That's wonderful. That is awareness. When you have the awareness of, oh, I'm not breathing, you will breathe. So I also offer to all the listeners, not with, every nanosecond paying attention, but just gently, lovingly notice. Am I breathing?
People don't notice it's an involuntary action, but when I speak to you and coaches like you, it makes you conscious of your breathing. So you'll take that deep breath.
Even that's too much energy because it doesn't have to be hard. So you just become aware. You meet your breath where you are. Trust your breath. Meet your breath where your breath is. So for me, I'll use me as an example. My breath was shallow. I met it shallow. And the breath is so brilliant. It just began
shallow, and then you can take it where you want to take it.
The breath will take you. There's not even anything you have to do. If you notice and say, as I did, my breath is shallow, you'll 9 times out of 10 go, sigh. And after that, there is an openness that expands in your chest. So the best way I can say it is for all of the listeners, trust your breath. Begin to notice my breath is shallow, or I'm putting a lot of effort in my breath.
And you can use this in many different areas. If you're going on a job interview or something's going on in your life that you want to just relax yourself or bring yourself together, get yourself together.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we're breathing all the time, thank goodness. But let's say that where you live, there's a protest taking place. You don't feel safe enough to participate, yet you support the protest. right? Let's say that you have you're going to meet a friend and you haven't seen that friend in a while and you're a little apprehensive, or your boss has called you in and said, you know, I'd like to meet with you, so you don't know if it's a layoff. Lay your hand right on your chest. If you're in a meeting no one is going to know, this immediately connects you to your body. Your breath will slow down and you will become engaged, I'm going to say, with your higher consciousness, which is your place of clarity, your place of courage, your place of your authentic voice, and your place of peace. May we do some breath?
We got a minute, yes.
Okay. So everyone, as long as you're not driving, just close your eyes, uncross your arms, uncross your legs, and just begin to feel just that easily how your body begins to soften and relax. And just like a wave comes into shore and then melds back into the ocean, comes into shore, melds back into the ocean. Feel your inhale flow into your exhale flow into your inhale. And right now, feel the power of your breath replenish you, rejuvenate you. Very gently open your mouth, take an inhale, and exhale, saying, ah. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and lovingly open your eyes.
How do we reach you?
You can reach me at on my email, Kathleen. That's Kathleen with a K, Kathleen, Kathleen at KathleenBooker.net.
Yes, Kathleen Booker, breathing coach, certified, conscious, connected breathwork coach. We appreciate you and thank you.
Thank you for all you're doing, Dr. Bob.
Thank you too.
Thank
Breathe
you.
in.
And breathe out.
Breathe out. And we'll take a break and come back with more next.